How is everybody? Hope everyone is doing fine. Wanted to go into some had this very powerful unction. And we're going to go into the dichotomy, the opposite end dichotomy, where they both actually come together synergistically to form a whole that in reality is being played out right now. How about that for an explanation? Namely, to wit, the whole devastating aspect of the fourth horseman, which happens to be, you have the white, the red, the black, and the pale horseman, which happens to be, with, as its writer, death and hell following. And both death and hell are capitalized. Now here's the unction. Here's where it unfortunately made sense. We have a situation in the world geopolitical scene, the limelight, where the real game is being played, where you have one country acting as a de facto false prophet because they were coerced into coming into the war with Iran. And when you take and you compare that to the fact of the reality of the fourth horseman, which is very symbolic of one country acting as the false prophet, raining down fire on another country while working for the beast. There is no physical Antichrist even remotely mentioned. In Revelation 13, it says the beast, B-E-A-S-T, name and number of a who? Of a man. So we need to understand those prophetic logistics. So again, the summation of what's going on is right now, and actually I think we have till the 21st, they're just buying time to retool, learn lessons, and go at it again. That's all they're doing. The 2 weeks that we're into this so-called thing, but it should have been, what was that called? A truce? And then who was the country that came in and bombed Lebanon and killed the residential areas and killed over 300 people? Who was that country? So you have one country acting as the false prophet in charge of death, and another country basically speaking the same language, acting as the country of hell. And this all goes back, the linchpin, I hate to say that, but the common denominator was when Christ called them and let them know that they're a pack of serpents, devils, and that their house is left unto them desolate. These are the very succinct words that Christ used. And nobody understands that. Your house is left unto you desolate. Matthew 23:38. So when you have the similitude of death and hell, the riders of the fourth horseman, the pale horse, with death and hell, they both speak the same language. One is acting in the auspices, or the office, the role of the false prophet, raining down fire. We all know what that takes the shape and form of. And then you have death, that even though we entered into an agreement of a truce that should have taken hold, they felt it was necessary, incumbent, and just willy-nilly started raining down their own ballistics, killing over 300 people in a residential setting in Lebanon. Now this isn't counting the 170 girls from that one school in Iran, which was another case scenario a few weeks before. This is only ramping up. We can see it. It's right there in the prophecies. We'll keep you informed. If you're remnant, stay remnant. We'll put the website on the bottom. And yeah, we're there. We're there. We're living in the last days, in the tribulation, because it says, leave you with this thought, it says that there will be 42 months in Revelation 13. 42 months. Or with the caveat that the Lord gave in Matthew chapter 24, that if those days were not shortened, no life would continue. So that's why the Lord would shorten those days. This country they're winning a few battles, or whatever this loosely termed phrase, but there's no strategic initiative outside of blustering coming from this country. The other country, they just do what they want. Who can make war with that beast? They want the oil, which is the lifeblood of the earth's reserve. That's why it says, for the black seal, see thou hurt, not the oil or the wine. A measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny. See thou hurt, not the oil and the wine. Could that have a direct corollary? Yeah, sure. Does it have a direct corollary to the Holy Spirit? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. What are they doing? Unbelievable. You're here. I love you guys. Stay around it. Get this word out there, and we'll talk soon. Love you guys.